Hello, heroes. Welcome back. We're on the Ranger. This is technically day 2. I know I put in the comments log that it was day 2, or day 1 rather, but it's technically day 2 for the Ranger because we did start it yesterday. After getting our Knight of Azeroth up to level 15, because that was about all the patience I had for a Knight of Azeroth. I don't know how that guy right there did it all the way up there, but more power to him. We're going to try and finish getting this guy up to 25. Here's a couple things I wanted to point out. With the latest quote-unquote updates that they did over last night, early this morning, you will notice that our buff for XP is gone from our scroll. So they removed, apparently everyone lost the scroll. So either you have to go buy it again, I think, or just do without, which kind of makes it a little annoying, in my opinion. But we'll go from there. We do have some quests that we need to turn in, other quests that we need to get done. So for at least the next hour, I'm going to pop that scroll right there. It's going to give us 25% more XP, so not quite as good as the 50 that we were getting. But at least for an hour, we get that, plus the 8% there, plus someone popped a Norganon scroll, so that's another 10%. So let's get some stuff turned in. I'm also going to change specs real fast. I want to try out... I have no idea. That is a completely new quest, by the way, that she gives us. But I want to try out the that was the wrong button. Try out Far Strider. So I'm gonna grab that. I've got 2 points left. Reduces the cooldown of horns, increases your focus generation. I like that. Leap backwards. Falcon's call down on warp in a target area. Swooping up to, or slowing up to 8 enemies for 60 seconds. Each falcon summoned for each enemy affected by... Okay. I'm just gonna do that. Or would it be better to go with Woodland Arrow? Shoot a magic ability, reducing the cooldown of active horn spells. Nah. Boom. And then just so you guys know, the passive is called Dream Flowers. Dealing, your damaging critical strikes now spawn a Dream Flower in a random location within 15 yards of us. So it allows us to get a little bit of a heal off. We still have our heal going. Let's see, survival potions. Make sure that's going. I need to figure out what her quest was. And then we wanted to pick up... Did we not get a new skill? Using a horn instantly. Okay, so that's just quick shot. This right here. So that's what we're using right now. And then this horn every time we get a chance. Okay. We've got that. Return... Okay, so we've got a couple quests to turn in here in town, but what quest did she just give us? I don't see it. Yeah. Unless that was the quest she just gave us, was the Dungeon quest. In which case, we can't do it. RP Lieutenants. Was that the quest that she gave us, was Harpy Lieutenants? Or not Harpy Lieutenants, the one for the dungeon? No, because she no longer has a quest and we just abandoned that. No, no idea. Really? It's going down again? This is why we have a late start today. It's done this all morning. Now, I'm gonna head up this way. We're gonna take out any raptors that we can get, any plane striders that we can get. We played archery yesterday up to 15. To kind of go over that real quick before the server resets. So, archery here is going to be 100% you doing damage. This is, you build up stacks and you hit stuff with really hard hitting, like your skull piercer, or for example, precision shot. It seems like it really wants you to get precision shot up. Damage wise, just the way it's looking like on here, I haven't really given it too much thought because we only get to 25, which allows us to fill up this without ever getting down here. When you get into Farstrider here, this is where we're going to start getting falcons to help us do damage, but more importantly, we're going to be using different horns in order to buff our allies. So it's really designed to allow us to just get more damage out. So now we have Falcon Strike. So now we have a bird that comes out temporarily and helps us fight, right? Right, so a pure marksman is the first one. The second one is more like your Beastmaster, sorta. But like, we're still trying to get stuff going, but anytime we use this skill a certain amount of times, it turns into allowing us to summon a bird, and then this, or the horn automatically does it. And anytime we get a crit, we can pop a flower that anyone can use in order to heal. It's not a big heal, so we're not like a sub-healer here, but it does allow us to get some heals going. So like you see that flower there, I run over it, bam, and I get a movement speed. And then Brigand is your melee build, where you're supposed to be going into your stealth form more often in order to do more damage. You're kind of like a rogue assassin kind of thing, with the capability of using your bows if necessary. And I really wish they would stop doing this. Oh, okay. That was a little odd. I personally have not seen the point to support specs besides raiding or 5v5 arenas. Lower damage than DPS and lower heals than pure healer. Absolutely. The thing is it's definitely going to be for raids or, to your point, 5v5 arenas. Their whole purpose is to buff and have kind of a little bit of everything, but just be slightly better in one aspect, right? So like when you have a support healer, they're okay at DPS, they're a little bit tanky, but then they have more healing than they do anything else. With this build, it's more... Can I actually get right back in? Or is it just... Yeah, it's just not showing that it's closed. Okay. So like with this archer, what it is I'm capable of pushing out a little bit more DPS, but I also have buffs for the rest of the party, and I have like more a little bit of healing to kind of help with that, as well as like movement speed and stuff like that. But we played the archery one yesterday up to level 15. Of course, that was when we had the aura buff that they somehow deleted off of everybody. So... I don't think it can. Let's just exit all the way out real quick. I honestly, even like support healers, they are not going to be able to heal the same way an actual healing class can. And then support DPSers are not going to be able to output the same amount of DPS as a standard DPSer. Like, it's just not, that's not in their kit. Really? Are we going to have this issue again? Alright, let's go check Discord. Make sure that there were no announcements. Nope, just beta invites. Beta invites, nothing else. Whoa. Wait a minute. Is that from the game though, or are they about to do something with all the specs? Oh. Let me show this to you guys. I'm gonna check, make sure, see if the realm can come back up. Nope. So they just posted this in spoilers, guys. I don't know if this means that they are getting ready to have a calculator up and available for us to start messing around with, or if this is their idea of what the trees are going to look like on launch. I think the support roles are going to be more for like low tier level dungeons, so like your non-mythic, heroic dungeons, hardcore dungeons, whatever. But I think also what they're designed to do is have just a different play style for the people that are like, oh, I don't want to do pure DPS. What the heck is going on? I can't get back in the game. And aside from that teaser, I'm not seeing any other announcements, and I wasn't seeing anything in... Let's see. I don't really see anything going on in Discord. Nothing over here has changed. Sometimes, man. And there's nothing in news, change log. This was 2 days ago. Also 2 days ago. They haven't posted anything new on there either. I haven't seen anything, but that's the deal. Is like we really haven't been getting a whole lot. As far as the last time, let's see, 1.7 was the last like changes that they did, which is baloney because they've made changes since then. And there's nothing in the articles. I don't know. When beta went live, there were a lot of changes to each class, but since then, I haven't seen any changes. But we'll see. It'll be nice once it lets us get back in. Let us in! Yep. Big balonies. Just for giggles. Okay. So they haven't messed with all of all of PTR again. So that's a good sign. It's frustrating that I can't get into the game, though. Wow. All the different servers I've played on that have a character. Polished. That's funny. Oh. There we go. Finally. One of your chats didn't come through on that. Hold on one second. While I have your attention, after checking your Stormbringer, I honestly felt, compared to some of the more popular specs out there, I had some heals and mana sustain, but it's CC and survival. Which spec were you running on Stormbringer? And I will agree, early level Stormbringer by itself is relatively weak for solo content. Maelstrom is going to be the more powerful version of it. It's just going to be very single target. But you're going to be able to obliterate a lot of things before it can get to you. Lightning is going to be much more difficult, just because of cast time issues. And wind was atrocious. Now again, I could be terrible at wind, but I couldn't do it. But yeah, I mean, for me, Stormbringer can be powerful. It's just, it's going to be one of those classes where, you know, you're going to have to swap specs depending on what you're wanting to do. Maelstrom, again, is overworld. Lightning is going to be your early dungeon stuff until you get certain skills. Who does a ton of PvP? The class seems absolute dog water. Oh, well, yeah, I don't... And bear in mind, when I tell people classes or what I think about a class or however that is, I'm taking it from a purely PvE spectrum. I don't do PvP. I am terrible at it. You could give me the best gear, the best enchants, the best class, and tell me specifically what buttons to push, and I'll still suck at it. Like, I'm not good at PvP. It is not my forte. Never has been. So I agree with you on that. It's most likely not good in PvP. Not unless you have a lot of penetration. Let's see if there's an update to the launcher. Nope. Gotta check sometimes, because sometimes they do that, where it's like they're doing back-end stuff, but then it has to be pushed into the front-end loader, so... Probably. Runemaster, I feel, was built for that kind of stuff, though. The Stormbringer, I think, wasn't built for PvP aspects. I could be wrong. There might be somebody out there that's phenomenal with a Stormbringer PvPer. I'm not a PvPer, so unfortunately, all of my testing goes through PvE aspects, and I give my opinion based on PvE. I wish I had somebody that I could trust to help me do PvP content and do them as a partner on the channel. Phrasing, that was terrible. Bring them on as a partner for the channel, specifically for PvP content, because I'm terrible at it. I will say that forever and ever and ever. I am terrible at PvP, so I never look at a character and see what specifically they would be good at PvP wise, just what they're good at leveling, doing dungeons, potentially raids. Because in alpha it was very hard to get into a raid, if ever, because usually those were being dominated by full parties and guilds. So it's just one of those things, you know. Like I would absolutely love to be more knowledgeable in PvP situations, but since I'm so bad at it, I try to not stick my face into something that I'm not good at. No, for whatever reason, I'm just really bad at it. It takes a different mindset. It could be slow reaction, to be honest with you, but I'm just not, like, it's not that I have a bad way of handling stress or anything like that. I mean, I play COD with no real problem, but, I'm the kind of person that if I have a choice from doing PvE to PvP content, I'm always going to try to do PvE content because I find more enjoyment out of it. I always have. Every game I've ever played growing up has been PvE content. So I'm not a huge fan of just PvP stuff. Sorry, my hands are super dry, so I'm putting on lotion. I do apologize. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I'm not used to that kind of setup, and it takes a lot for me to get into that, because I'm also one of those people that's like, okay, well, I'm gonna play this character, so I need to know what enchants, what skills, what gear, what... Like, I'm that oriented kind of person where I'm having to check off about 15,000 boxes before I can go in and feel comfortable doing it. PvE just comes naturally to me, so it doesn't feel like I'm having to check off those boxes, even though I do on a very regular basis. I agree with you. If I had people for PvP that I absolutely trusted and we worked out what we were going to do and how we were going to do it, absolutely. I would... Oh, look, hey, our thing came back. Ha ha! They fixed it! Maybe it's because everybody was complaining about how their aura went away. Come on, I need you to loot the bird. There we go. Alright, bird quest done. And see, like, after 5 attacks, we get to do another one of those Falcon called strike things. So there's 1. That got us up to 4. There's our next level. There's 5. Got to send out a Falcon. And we get to keep our poison damage, which I really enjoy. We're gonna go hunt down the prime, or the Calgar boss that's out here. Let's see what we can do with that. But yeah, if I could find somebody that, or find a couple people to do like a 3v3, and we could get everything lined up to where our classes really just meshed well together, 100%. Though I would always want to go probably combat heals, because I feel more confident as a healer than I do anything else, so... Not that one. That one. There we go. Anyways, I saw that you complained about gear. I found that grinding elites in high risk or doing mana storms flood you a ton of blue dungeon gear, which can be shared between all. Absolutely. I figure we might start doing mana storms if we can get groups doing them. The issue that a lot of people have with mana storms is they feel like it just takes over the leveling experience. Since we've already completed 1 level 25 character, I think it would be okay. Hello? Book? Oh, it fell from the... Okay. Let's see, quick shot. Ooh, we got scattered shot. And forest wood key. Requires a bronze bar and rune thread in order to do that. No, thank you. But we got a new arrow, so... That was not what I wanted to do, so we'll go ahead and use it. Serrated shot gives a bleed effect, which is really nice. But yes, you are 100% correct. Doing mana storms is phenomenal. I'm weary of them because I know how a lot of people feel about mana storms, making it seem too, I don't know, straightforward is the answer, but people get angry about mana storms. That's what makes the witch doctor, or the witch hunter, sorry, so powerful as a DPS or a tank. That thing just obliterates stuff in front of it, and it has a spec that it gets a pet, so... And then you got Cultist, which has the eyeballs that it can do. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of specs out there that can do a lot of nasty stuff. Why do I keep getting better bows that just have int on them? Like, I don't need intelligence. Okay. Come on. Get within range of my poison arrow. Okay, there's 3 of 6. Ah. Come on. Ooh. Let's not. She is 3 levels our senior. I'd rather not pick a fight with her. There we go. Have you tried all builds and specs previously, or there are some that you still some you are yet to try? Not speaking about current beta, but previous seasons. So I have tried all of the specs in alpha. I've played all 21 classes, played all 20 or what is it? I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I've played all the specs that were available in alpha. Well, I messed that up. There we go. So yes, I have played all possible specs as alpha, but working on it for beta to see what changes have been made. Is there a particular spec that you're interested in, or class that you're interested in? What stood out to you the most, or which were your favorites? Fellsworn, Stormbringer, Ranger, and let's see, Blood Mage, Sun Cleric were my favorites in alpha. Sun Cleric I did as a healer. I loved the mechanic being able to bounce between using mana and using rage or whatever it was. Like that was an interesting mechanic. I liked that. The heals were pretty solid too. So it was one of those things I really enjoyed doing. As far as Blood Mage, I played it as a tank. That was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun I've had ever playing a tank. Like, am I supposed to be using a tool or something? There we go. No, they just have crap drop rates. So like, I did not mean to fight the Kodo. I wanted to fight him. Let's see, what else? Well, with the Blood Mage, the tank was a lot of fun because it had the capability of really putting in some really decent work. I like the fact that that's point blank now. It was a super healing tank. Like, you basically needed 3 buttons: a solo, or one skill that healed you for doing single target damage, one that healed you for doing AoE target damage, and then one that was basically a buff. And you could get through every dungeon in normal mode anyway with no major issue. So I really enjoyed that one. Stormbringer I enjoyed just because I really like that class in PvE content, especially when you get up into the 30s and 40s, and you can start really unleashing damage with those guys. Let's see. The Fellsworn was pretty neat, though so far in playtesting it here on beta, it is immensely better. So if you liked the Fellsworn in alpha, I highly recommend trying it here in beta. Now that we can cast on the run, because I like spellcasters. I'm not a huge fan of melee characters, but that's tomato tomato. So it's one of those things where, like, I really enjoyed those classes. They were my favorite. Oh, and we're getting kicked from the server again. Oh, I wish I could say it was an internet issue. You know what I mean? Like, that's the frustration for me. Is I just wish I could be like, oh man, the internet. What can you do? No, it's them. They're messing with it. I kind of liked the premise of Necro and Starcaller and Alphas, but they have been kind of changed now, and I don't know anymore. What sparks my interests, pun intended, is the Tinker. I haven't gotten to the Tinker yet. That's on my, obviously, that's on the list to get to. I will say Necromancer seems to be doing a phenomenal job as an animator. It won't be until you get much later down into the tree that you really get to unlock a lot of the really cool stuff for them. But they seem to have some really cool stuff going for them. Death seems to be getting some new stuff with them too. Haven't played too much around with their talent trees yet. Rhyme was my favorite Necro out of its 3 list. I liked it because of the cold aspect. It was also one of the first characters I had geared enough that we were doing like 10k crits. That was nice back in alpha. But yeah, I mean, Necro was pretty good. Starcaller, I wasn't a huge fan of the Starcaller. It felt like they were trying to get too much into like different other builds back then. In alpha, it felt like Starcaller was like, we're like, oh well, we could make it an archer. Oh, but we could make it a and it was just like none of the skills felt solid. I think what makes it worse for me when it does this, where we can't get in, is number one, it feels like it wastes time. But number two, anytime we see anything posted from the dev team about it, because people complain about it, it's, oh, well, come on, guys, you gotta understand, like, we're doing all this stuff on the back end all the time to make sure that we can get this game out as fast as possible. Homie, y'all were saying y'all were gonna send it live last year. Like, stop giving us that. Like, I get you guys are doing work. I'm not saying that developing a game is easy by any stretch of the imagination, but when your go-to line is, we're working to make it go live, y'all said last year, at least 4 times last year, that this was going live. And then you brought Bronzebeard to the live server, and COA seemed to have taken a back burner because we picked up APOC or Epoch or whatever. So I'm excited that they're doing stuff for the server, but at the same time, it's like, tell us what you're doing. Don't just give us the same line we've been hearing for a year. And devs, if you actually watch my content, please. I'm not trying to be harsh, but... Ugh. Speaking of course, how they fit as a class identity, both in PvE and PvP. Perhaps they are amazing in PvE now purely, but there are some limits to them nowadays, I suppose. I think that's going to be the case for a lot of the classes. I don't think there's going to be one class that's good all around for everything, as much as I keep saying that Cultist is by far the meta. I don't think there's just going to be one class if they're really paying attention to the class mechanics. I don't think there's going to be one that's going to be great at PvE, great at PvP in all aspects of its builds. That just doesn't make sense. I really, really dislike this sometimes. Let's go. I want to check something here. Features. Is there any... overview... No, I don't want overview. I want build guides. New PvE content. Hero called world looking for dungeons, scaling new dungeons, blah 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 blah. Professions in new places, prestige. I think Barbarian and Cultist and Primalist could still easily fit both playstyles, at least in their current iterations. They really have no weaknesses between their specs. I mean, I'll have to take your word for it when it comes to the PvE stuff. I think Barbarian could have a little bit more self-healing than it does, and be a little bit more tankier. That's just my personal opinion. We did really well in Alpha with the Barbarian. I don't see how it would stack up very well in PvP content, but if you say it does, then I take your word for it. Wow. That's old. Wow, look at this. Whew. Look at that. So back when Monk was one. Jeez. They don't exist anymore. That's now called the Blood Mage. Rune Master. Venomancer. I was hoping to see something for what they teased, but I don't see it anymore. Oh well. Realm's back up anyway. Throwing becomes a nightmare at higher levels in PvP, and their melee build is very good versus squishies, and Ancestor/support works in almost all situations. Okay. Yeah, I forget which one we did for the Barbarian. I want to say we started with the Ancestor or the support role for it. I think that's where we were before we stopped doing the alpha content because they were talking about it going live and the server was getting all wishy-washy, and so we went and started playing some other stuff. But like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where like I'm not 100% positive on it. At least our buff is still up. What's up, ZZ? Oh, it's because we switched to the pole arm, that's why. I was like, why am I only got one dagger? Okay, we're done with the raptor heads. Looks like we're done with all the quests up this way so far. Let's go get everything turned in real quick and see from there. As long as the server will stay up long enough for us to go turn everything in. Sounds like they were just testing the storm system siren things. But I tell you what, when I was doing Bronzebeard content, when I was covering that when it went live, this quest was on permanent, just like dropped. So all you had to do is wait, and there would just be flags spawning everywhere. A defender has fallen. Do we want the bow? No. I don't know. Alright, let's run back to town, turn everything in there, because we're going to get some more quests going there. I wish the level bracket was up to 29 for maximized power in BG's face blue. Oh, because you did an emoji and text didn't pull that through very fast. I agree. I think 30 would have been better than 25. That would have given us a little bit of points down into this next couple rows here. Increases your damage dealt by 10% for 12 seconds after leaving a loon, or I can get more agility. I think more agility is going to be more important since we can't get too much higher levels. So let's go ahead and dump all 3 points in there, because like it goes 4, should have gone 8 instead of 7, but whatever, and the next one's probably 10. The math just ain't mathing. I do like the changes that they do to some of the cities here. So, what do you guys think about the changes they've done to like Crossroads and Orgrimmar and? Well, actually, I don't think Org got many changes, if any. But like Valley of Trials, like all the smaller towns, basically. Do you guys like the changes? Hate the changes? I think it's nice. It kind of breathes a little bit of fresh air and gives you more stuff. I agree. I think like this town, because they moved people around to add in new vendors and stuff, like knowing where stuff is a little confusing. Looks like I've got that quest up there. We've got one more Harpy quest to do. Plus we've got the Zebras that we need to take out. What, do I need more hyenas? See, that's a quest item. Alright. level 17. I guess when this guy hits 25, we can make a I don't know what we'll do next. You guys got any idea of what y'all would want to see me do as the next class? I don't care what the class is, but if you guys have an idea of what you want to see next once this dude hits 25, bear in mind, I mean, we still have I mean, yeah. The only one we finished to 25 right now is the Stormbringer. This guy will be our second one. I'll eventually finish the Knight of Azeroth. He is not my favorite. Yes, I agree, ZZ. The quests are all over the place. Alright, some of the changes borrowed from Epoch. I don't know. Haven't played Epoch. Geomance? Oh, you're talking, Primalist? Yeah. I don't know, if I was to do a Primalist, man, I'll be real with you. I would want to run it more like a Shaman. Like the Shaman tank from Bronzebeard, if I was being honest with you. And go the tank form of Primalist. We gotta run all the way up there for that Harpy. Because then we just got the quest over here and Echikai, which is like right up here. And then it's everything in the south. So okay. Look, I got no problem with that. We can do the Primalist caster next. And go the Geomancer build. I've seen a lot of Primalists though. Like, that's what's crazy. What's up, Tarn Guardian? Really? Their name is just Cow. How did you... Maybe we don't have the same name restrictions that Blizzard has? Because I don't think in Blizzard, you on Retail WoW, I don't think you can have the name Cow. Speaking of cows and Blizzard product, I'm not 1,000% sure it's positive, but apparently someone has found the cow world in Diablo 4. I don't know if it's real, or if somebody made it up, or found a way to mod the game, or somehow created a clone. I don't know what, but I have seen quite a few things pop up on my Facebook feed strictly for Cow World Diablo 4. Because last I heard, the requirements for Cow World on Diablo 4 were atrocious. Okay, where's the one that I want? He's a yellow one down here somewhere. I guess she hasn't. Oh, somebody already took her out. She's right here in front of me. Let's just go with visible. So it's like the Sun Cleric? Got it. Okay. That makes it way more interesting to me. Got you, man. Be safe out there. Come on. This harpy needs to respawn. And it's way more. Okay, 1 spirit, health, stamina, spell healing, spirit, agility, expertise. There we go. Okay, her body went away. Well, that's not a good... Okay. Spells generating rage and having stances, buffs, which deal with different situations, either defensive, offensive, haste, heals, etc. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely have to try that. As long as the server cooperates today, we should be okay at hitting level 25 today. And if this stupid harpy would spawn again, jeez. There's a 4.5 minutes respawn time? Good lord. Let's go sneak back here. Because there is a crate right here. Really? Ah, my poison will kill her. And then we're stuck here for 2 more seconds. Look, she's up. Ooh, she level 20. 3 levels ahead of us. There we go. And now we can hearth back so that we can turn those in and then just run across and start doing the other stuff. What spec you played through on your Night of Z? You mentioned that it wasn't a good experience. The DPS one. The Hellfire? No, that's the I'll have to go look at it. I can't remember the name of the stupid spec. It's the one that doesn't get any summons. So it wasn't the tank, and it's not the one that's basically a hybrid build. But I can't remember the name of the stupid... it has like one good AoE, which is a ground slam, because it takes your primary axe slash thing and turns it into a ground slam. I just can't remember the name of that one. We're gonna grab that for the 22 silver. You want us to go to Stone Talon, so no. Won't even need to go to Stone Talon because we can only ever get to level 25. Excuse me. Alright, so now we get to go... Oh, she wants us to go do kitty cats. Oh, we still need more hyenas. Okay. I thought we had finished all those. Alright, so if we see any hyenas or a giraffe out this direction, which I don't think we will. But yeah, I can't remember which spec it was for the Knight of Azeroth. It had low damage, or what was the issue? To me, it felt like it attacked way too slow. I know for a fact I've already done this quest on this character. No, I didn't. That was on the... I don't remember which one I did it on then. Okay, so that resets the timer. And a red stake. It was more for me that it felt like it attacked too slow. I like, if I want slow attacks, I know that casters are going to do that, so I'm okay with it. But when I'm a melee character, I want to feel like I'm actively getting out strikes. And when your dude's skills have 3-second cooldowns between each one, and I can miss almost a third of the attacks I do, like, it feels like it takes too long to take stuff out. That was my issue. I'm sure as it levels, it gets better. We got it to 15, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm bored with this. Oh, not good. Stop respawn. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Like, for example, right? Take two different melee classes, okay? So, the Knight of Azeroth and the Reaper, right? I felt like the Reaper attacks so much faster, even if you're doing the two-handed spec. True. I agree with that. Though with the Cultist, I typically play the caster versus the melee, but it's one of those things where like the Reaper and the Knight, I felt like the Reaper hands down attacks so much faster with a two-handed spec, just you know, trying to keep it as close to apples and apples with the Knight as you can, and it still doesn't feel like the Knight stacks up. So okay, we just need 2 more of these guys and 2 more hunters. There's a hunter. Okay, and perhaps these kinds of builds are too gear dependent to perform. Potentially, especially since we're not able to use heirloom gear right now. My opinion may or may not change based on the type of gear that, I mean, if I had best in slot gear, maybe my opinion would be different on the Night of Azeroth. You know what I mean? But as it sits with the kind of gear we have right now, I just don't see it being one that I would go, this is what I want to work on, you know? No, don't hit that. Alright, this one is done. I need hyenas and a giraffe. And I think what I'm going to do... I think I'm going to go ahead and just run straight across so I can go take out the, or get the paws that we need before we turn in the quest here, because it's going to make us come back over here anyway, and then we've got Echikai up here. So by doing the kitty cat paws, we should be able to also find enough hyenas. Do you have high risk enabled? If not, you should definitely do it just for the sake of random chance of getting blues. True, I should. Let's run into town real quick. We'll vendor up real fast just to empty out bags. I think the reason why I typically don't run don't sell that one because it's actually a better deal for us. If it will allow us to equip it on that other axe. There we go. The main reason why I didn't want to do it is this one, player versus player, PvP rules set. The reason why I don't like doing high risk is, number one, it eliminates me from being able to use my Fel Infused Gateway. Can't do it in high risk. A blue bow drop could speed up leveling drastically. You're 1000% correct. Especially since right now I have a World Forged Quill Bow. But the main reason why I don't like playing high risk isn't because I have a whole lot of issues with it. It's the simple fact that when we first started using high risk, we were doing it in Bronzebeard. And I don't know if it was somebody that was watching the stream. I don't know if it was just some random guy. But at a certain point, we just had somebody that was consistently hunting us down. And it was the same character. And it didn't matter where I went, what zone I was in. Somehow or another, this dude would find me and make it his life's mission to just murder me a lot. So... I eventually gave up on that. It's like, it's one thing if I go out and I'm trying to be the aggressor, you know? That's like, yeah. If I try to take somebody down and I get put in my place, I'm 1000%... 1000%. I'm in the wrong. Take me down if you can, you know? But, like, if I'm out here just trying to complete a quest and I'm level, like, for example, this dude's level 17 and you run by on a level 25, what's the point? There we go. I like fair fights, so yeah, camping when someone at their weakest is certainly scummy practice. Yeah. Ooh, we need that giraffe. Give us what I need, giraffe. It didn't give me what I needed. Oops. Yeah. Again, like, if I... Ow? That was interesting. There we go. But like if I'm out there and I'm the one that's instigating the fight, absolutely, because I know the consequences if I lose, right? But if I'm just out here doing my darndest to complete quests, man, like leave me alone. There have been times, because there are some places in the world that you go that are 100% PvP enabled from the jump, right? So like Syphilis was, and Guru Crater was. I don't know if they still are because I haven't gone out there in a hot minute. Winter Guard was, but these were places that as soon as you landed in them, they were PvP. So you knew going out here to do quests, including dailies, probably not a good idea. But that being said, there would be times where you would accidentally smack somebody that's out there because you're trying to take down a bug or whatever, and they would walk it off. They'd be like, oh, I get you. That's, you know, that was an honest mistake. You're not really trying to attack me. That kind of thing. But then you'd have people that were out there for the sole purpose of not trying to do dailies. They 100% were just out there to murder people. Tannerus and STV, yeah. It's just, I mean, there's a part of me that, like, at one point, they actually asked the community, like, this is how serious it got. They asked the community if they would like to have all PvP content on their own, like, quote-unquote servers or instances within the server. And it was almost a 50-50 split. I don't remember which way it actually went. But it was almost a 50-50 split on, yeah, they wanted PvPers to have their own area with other PvPers. So that if you were doing high risk, or if you were doing PvP zones, you were just in your own little world at that point. I think we got the last one we needed. Yeah, so we're done with that quest too. Alright, let's go turn this in. The only thing I don't like about doing high risk is the fact that I cannot use this portal to get back to town. So it does actually increase our running time. So, just FYI, we'll have to run a lot more. Which part was like that? High risk had its own phase for use. Really? Yeah, that's odd then that it got changed during Bronzebeard. Because yeah, on Bronzebeard, it was literally, if you were high risk, anyone and everyone on the planet could take you on. And that's why in Bronzebeard I stopped doing high risk. Like as soon as, like I would do it at level 10. Right, so I would come out here and I would do this, and then as soon as we got done in Vol'jin Town to where we could do it, I would turn on high risk and just finish Durotar, but then the second I came to the Barrens, I'd turn it back off. On the classless realms? Yeah, I didn't really play much on the classless. Do I have any other turn-ins? Because I have something down here to turn in. Finding the rhythm.
You wish to speak?
Completing this quest requires the following amount of gold. Are you sure? What? I had to buy a drum from this person. Wow. I better be getting my 3 silver back, bro. Where do I need to go for this now? I definitely don't think it's in Eastern Kingdoms. There's been a party in the Taran Lodge for a while with lots of dancing. Ask the drummer Brumbuff if he has an extra stick he can spare. Acquire the drumstick and deliver it. So it sounds like it's here in town. This is such a weird added quest to the game.
I have just the thing for you. Be careful.
What's crazy is this cost me 3 silver to do this quest. Okay, now I have the drumstick. And deliver to the along with the drum. Okay. So now we get to go over this way. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with increasing agility and movement speed by an additional 10%.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, you got your sister dance. I'm so happy for you. Such a weird quest. Weird. And this is the same armor, but we'll gain more agility, so we'll go ahead and equip that. Alright, so we have Etchikai way up here that we need to do, and then everything else is to the south. Level 18. Not bad. 5 more level, or sorry, 6 more levels to go. If I could math today. Oh! Once we get up here to Etchikai, I'll check the book and see. This is how I know I've already done that quest, by the way. It made me go do the hunters and all that stuff, but it's not giving me the quest to go do the other ones. So I've had to have done that one. How does Ranger feel? Honestly, right now I'm liking the Far Strider a little bit more than I liked the archery build for it. But in terms of pure stopping power, the archery one is a lot better. This one just gives me the opportunity to have more point-blank stuff as a solo player. So, like, not only can I use Skull Piercer at point-blank, but if I use my horn, I get to use the called War Bird or whatever it's called, Falcon Strike, I think, in order to have another point-blank skill. So, Skull Piercer, Toxic Dart, Flank, and our buff got upgraded, so that's good. The downside is we do not seem to have an AoE skill. So far. Okay, that's done. Now everything we have is to the south, so we're just going to run through town, turn this in to get the XP for it, and then go from there. I feel like Witch Doctor's Shadow Hunter's range spec is just stronger than the Ranger offers at the moment, especially in PvP. Probably. Haven't gotten to the Witch Doctor's Shadow Hunter yet. I will say I've run into a couple of the Shadow Hunters, and the only thing that makes me upset about them is their darn totems. The little serpent totem or whatever it's called that they have. That thing seems to strike anything and everything within range, so it feels like a good way to die a lot. Got it. Okay. We will eventually get there. I think from now on, as soon as we hit level 10, we'll just start trying to get into mana storms. Ooh, did I break it? Okay. Like, I don't know if anyone's doing one. Mimic totem and all your range shots get by it. Oh, get copied by it? Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, like, I knew the totem did stuff. It was just like the last time I ran into one here on beta. It was like they popped their totem and it just started attacking stuff. And I was just like, that feels like a really quick way to just get nuked. Do I want to give up 3 agility for 4 crit strike rating? Why not? It's better gear. Alright, so we have Stolen Silver, Raptor's Nests, and Virog's Head. All in one little spot. Yeah. Well, like, that's kind of my thing, is like, with, for example, the, talking about weird aggro issues, if you go over, like, oh, man, I want to say it was right before the servers all went down, we went and started doing some hardcore challenges on Alpha, and we did one with the Necromancer, and homies, what's up, level 19 Primalist? Homie had an issue where our summons went off and just aggroed like a whole town of stuff and ended the hardcore run because our dude died. And I'm like, sure, I'll join your group. What I really want is some AoE abilities, because I think that would be more useful. But But unfortunately, we don't seem to be getting any AoE abilities. I don't even think we get any... Oop, I did not mean to click that button. I don't think we get any under archery either. Serrated shot, superb shot, studded arrows, boots of elven kind. So, how does Farstar exactly support other players? Just curious. So, their support is all based on their horns. Each horn has a different effect. So, like this one right here, anytime I blast this for 30 seconds, I generate an aura to where anyone that uses any of their abilities has a 30% chance to heal themselves. There will be another one that slows enemies and stuff like that. But yeah, it really just kind of boils down. I think I'm going to just, instead of worrying about trying to do leatherworking, I think I'm just going to... There he is. I'm trying to backpedal, dude. There he goes. Okay. I didn't want to accidentally get the kill while he was too far away. Get our bushcraft up so that we can actually get some neat stuff. But like, each horde just does new stuff. Plus, like I said, anytime we crit, we spawn those flowers. Those flowers will eventually heal a lot more and a lot more efficiently. So that's how it, quote unquote, helps here. But at level 25 is not really going to let us test a lot of stuff. But the higher your crit is, the more of those flowers you can get out and stuff like that. It seems it gains more value the more people are in your group. Yes. Okay. Okay. I was about to say, are we getting kicked from the server again, or... But as you can see, like, just doing crits, we get those flowers out. That increases our movement speed, gives us a little bit of healing. For us, it gives us the ability to use a different ability, too. So it really just kind of boils down to, like, what exactly it is we're trying to get accomplished. If I wanted to go back to doing just solid big hits, we could do that. How's the melee? Surely it's a better choice for leveling? I mean, here we go. Let's show it off. Or no. We want to go boom. I'm going to take all those points out. I'm going to go 1 point there, 1 point, or 2 points there. And then let's go. Brutality increases the critical strike by 2% and focus regeneration. We could either do knockout or crippling shot by 1 second. Elude. It reduces the cooldown of elude and knockout. That one I definitely want to do. Periodic damage dealt now generates 5 focus. Or we can go with toxic dart and ravage by 25%. Actually... Take that point out. Take that point out. Go here, here, and here. And just so you guys see, our passive is Wild Strike, now generates 1 additional advantage. So... we can still use Poison Dart. Yeah, it does get way more focused regeneration too. And then just for giggles, that actually did a ton of damage. Not bad. Still not my cup of tea, honestly, but we can stick to it for just a hot minute. I'm going to go run down this way. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Lost, and then we'll come back up and do this. And then we've got the Fissure, and then we can teleport back to town. Stealth. Oh, that's a PvP. Yeah. It also has that way to cool down your stuff as well. Who do I have? Why does customer support sending me email? This has changed. This is all new now. Same World Forged item here. Alright, let's go do silver and then we can go up. That'll actually make more sense. Strength and Spirit for level 20. We don't need any more of those. Medium leather, light leather. Now this is where we want to make sure that we are wielding the best possible weapons for maximum damage. What is this? It's a shield. Whoa! We need to see if there's anything we can learn in bushcraft now. I doubt it, though. Come here, book. Yeah, cured medium. Or is bushcraft under professions? I don't really want to waste the money on that. Does the spec have poisons like a rogue, or are they just applied via abilities? So, even though this is technically a quiver, and it does the ranged abilities, like this one is actually probably the best, because this one affects our physical damage, not just our bow, whereas that one doesn't. But as of right now, I only see the one skill that can apply poisons, which is Toxic Dart. And that one looks like it can be used... Well, not too bad. It's a silencing effect. It does damage over time. Generates one advantage for us. But the only downside is it requires elude. Wow, I can use my bow at point blank range? Something's up with that. I shouldn't be able to use my bow at point blank, but it says 5 to 30 yards, so... Okay. Oh, that is hurting my head. Having both the hat and my headphones on today. Probably because I did it all day yesterday for like 6 hours. Take that off. So we just need to get down here and plant a seed into the oasis. I think it's really dumb that these mushrooms are still like glowy, sparkly, whatever. Definitely different. I don't know if I like it any more or less than the two ranged abilities, though. Let's get away potentially from everything. And then let's just hearth out. It'll make it so much faster to just get to town, turn all that stuff in, run up here, turn that in, and then come down here and do the last two. Because we've got the turtles and we've got the last quote-unquote boss for the centaurs that we need to do. And already almost up to 5 gold. Love it. No. We'll go with this one because it's worth more.
Glory to the Horde. Go with honor.
That takes us to the next town.
What do you
And you give me the last quest that I need.
May the eternal sun shine.
We would lose 2 agility to gain 1 armor and 1 stamina. No thanks. Agility be important. Okay. I'll test it. I mean, I'm gonna have to anyway when I do build guides for it. Well, while we're in town, I want to figure out what the heck customer support sent us. I like how it says we have to be a level 60. That was nice of them, though. They fixed it to where the bonuses popped back up, but then they sent everybody a free one. That's pretty nice. Or maybe they just sent me one because I complained about it. Oh, we're so close to 19. Where's something to... Where's an enemy I can take down? A bird, a plane... Anything? Or are we about to get kicked off the server because nothing has spawned? Hello? Oh, whew. Alright, there's level 19. Let's go with more focus regeneration. I think that's crit based, right? No, that's just pure focus regeneration plus crit strike chance, so that's good. Any rares up, free source of blue loot. Anytime I try and, if I see one and I know I can take it out, I do. Okay. Get off his fence. There we go. And now we get to just run straight south. Because we got to do Altered Beings and Hezral Bloodmark. And that will finish, for the most part, we'll finish everything here. Two agility, 1 stamina. We would lose 1 agility for 2 armor. I'm okay with that trade-off. When we start our Primalist, we're going to have to send this off to the Primalist. But with the new map changes, no idea where mobs might spawn now. True-ish. I know where some pretty much spawn all the time, so... Now the real question is can I take this guy on and his 2 little cronies? Probably should have started with the, melee skill. Okay, he's down. Ooh. That's what I'm talking about right there. Alright, now we just got the turtles. Like, for example, there's an elite that spawns in this lake. This elite is not something I want to tangle with, but it is there. Was it this one that had the boots in it? I don't think so. No. I think it was the other one that had that smaller pond that had the boots in it. And actually, let's heal up before I start trying to take on turtles. Because these guys can hit relatively hard. But, like, there's an elite that spawns here. There's 2 elites that can spawn over here, where the little pig dudes are, whatever they're called. There's, like, 4 elites that still walk the road down here in the south. There's an elite that spawns up here. I mean, there's quite a few. Oh, it was in range. Yeah, those guys. Though, I will say the last time we saw those, there was only one. And I'm not sure if it's because they, like, somebody got the other 3 and just couldn't get that last kill and we happened to come up and take it before they got back. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, last time we fought those elites, there was just one out there. And it got stuck on its mount, so all it did was basic attack us. Dude, which one's better? This one's 50 focus, 50 focus. 122 weapon damage. Deals additional damage if I'm dual wielding. This one is ravaging an enemy, causing them to bleed. So I actually want to spam this, not this. This we hit once, and then while before the bleed comes off, we would do it again. I've been doing it the other way around. Alright, there's the bleed. And then you just pop the other one while the bleed ticks off. Alright, last one. Whoa! Nice hit. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. We've got 2 quests to turn in now. Just for giggles. I don't know why anybody would want to do, like, there's no AoE ability for this guy. Like, that single target. Single target. Single target. Has assault a low health enemy dealing 150 weapon damage plus an additional 175 physical damage. If the target is bleeding, this deals 50% increased damage. Damage increased by 30% for each stack of advantage, only usable on enemies below 20% health. Hook shot. Launch a hook at the target, attempting to lodge it into an open wound, dealing 229 physical damage. If the target is bleeding, you can reactivate this to pull yourself to them, dealing 150% weapon damage and generating 2 events. So, like, there's a lot of skills here that allow us to get in close and deal a lot of damage, but no AoE. Whereas, like, here, this is also single target. Neurotoxin arrow, so another poison. Dead shot, shoots a powerful weapon. Okay, that's a execute ability. Skirmish increases how fast we can attack. Quick demise, hunting shot. This is your first AoE ability. And we can't get anywhere near it, I don't think. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I've got 5 points. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nope, this whole row is locked. So no, can't get to that ability even if I wanted to. Ooh, I was not paying attention and ran past our other quest giver. So, yeah, unless at level 20 we get like a AoE skill, there's no AoE abilities this dude has. It's all single target for a long while. I don't know if I like that. Ugh, my chair's messing with me. We're headed over there so we can turn this in. So, in terms of one that's low level, able to go do, or excel at DPSing in dungeons and mana storms, I don't see how this one would do it.
For the horde.
Now, here's going to be the big issue. How, dude hits like a truck. Yep, saw that coming. This quest is always a giant pain. That's like super loud. There, I turned that down just a little bit because like I looked over and that stuff was like mid-bar for sound while we're dead. Do we still have like advanced stats? Nope. Dang, who are you? Level 22 Templar. Whatever he's tagging, I'm just going to shoot that. We can help out that way until we see the flag, and then we'll go in and grab it. I don't see him. Oh, he died. I see his chest over there. There's the guy that we need to fight. we're gonna die again. Because this guy hits way too hard. Come on. Ho, 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 ho. And go invis. Whew. I don't know how much health we had left, but gosh, dang, it wasn't a lot. I feel bad for that Templar, though. He just got back. Flag's over there, buddy. Go get it. That was dangerous close, man. Dangerous close.
Strength and honor. Dabu.
If I can replace it with that axe. We lost a little bit of agility. We lost 1 agility, some spell power, and some crit, but we jumped massively up in how much damage per second we're doing, so I'll count that as a win. Also, why on earth do the mobs hit so hard on this realm? I swear they are tweaked. That I don't know, man. Like, I do know that when they do the beta testing, because we're not able to get out very far, and like on Bronzebeard, for example, I know that even though I'm doing level scaling, that's part of the reason why they're going to hit me so gosh darn hard, is they scale with me. But like, for example, if I was to turn this off, I don't think I could complete most of the quest out here because they're going to be too low level for me. But because it scales everything up, I can still complete the quests. But I think by doing that, it allows the mobs to hit harder because it's percentage based. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's percentage based. All right. Well, technically that completes everything that I normally do here, because most of the other quests require me to go somewhere else. Actually, this one's really simple. You don't even have to get into a dungeon. You just accept that. You go here, go Dungeon Finder, say yes, find group. It won't let me... Oh, because I'm in high risk. Hold on. Go PvE real quick. Find group. Leave group. That's how you complete that one. Super simple. And then we can go over here and go right back into high risk. And there we go. Before we go down here and start doing all those, I'm actually going to come over here because there's a couple quests I can do real quick right here. So let's actually take the Flight Master. I think it'll be faster to get to Ratchet by flying versus running. Show me where I can fly. Whoa. Turn 1 light leather into 1 crude leather that you could use for craft abilities like the water skin here. And land.
Hey, how you doing?
No.
Keep it real.
There's a couple really simple quests here that you can do. There's one escort quest that's a giant pain in the butt. So definitely not doing the escort quest because I hate escort quests. We can grab this because that's an easy wanted quest. I say easy, but it's not too bad. Raptor horns is the only one here that we can do. General goods. See, my thing is I think in order to do enchants on Vellum, we have to buy these, and they're 3 gold a freaking pop, which I think is stupid. Yeah, the one in the human keep, where you have to literally walk the dude all the way back to town. And if he's still like if the AI is still like it was when we were doing Bronzebeard, forget it, man, because that dude would run off and attack anything that so much as twitched a mile away. It was impossible to keep him alive. I'm gonna give this a shot as melee, but I think honestly we would be better off if we went back over to archery or Far Strider for this area, just because of the amount of people that are around. Unless a lot of people are out here doing stuff, in which case, won't really matter. Look, I pulled aggro without ever seeing the person. Get more bleed on you, huh? And not as bad as I thought, to be honest. So far, anyway. I honestly thought it was going to be a lot worse. I'm going to move there, because I don't really use that all that often. But I do use Skull Piercer shot as a finisher for now. Because I don't really have a skill I can use for melee that uses up my... Oh, that's not good. Okay. I was getting a little worried there. I was smashing the button and nothing happened. Maybe if you had some good blue swords from Dead Mines, those... Yes. Probably. I'd have to queue for a dungeon and hope to get Dead Mines, though. And I don't don't feel like we're doing all that bad. I mean, we could obviously do better. We're still missing quite a bit of gear. But and I just realized I don't have my potion on my bar either. Where's it at? Survival pot. Because didn't we do the thing that gives it healing, right? Yes. Let's get over to the guy that we really need. I know that the quest helper add-on that we're using will tell you that he is at one of 3 locations. He's not. He's always in this one location. Come on. I have a feeling we're about to get moved from the server, y'all. There it is. Oh, so much fun getting moved from server every... Feels like almost every hour or something. Yep, Lagarino. It's crazy. Give us some server stability, please. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to move the fan to blow on me a little bit here. Says we got to wait for the server anyway. There we go. Now I'll just blow back and forth. Yeah, okay. Since I'm stationary, it makes more sense to do it that way. Dun. Struggling during weekends. It's been struggling since they brought it back up, to be honest with you. Since beta dropped, it's been struggling. I don't remember Bronzebeard having this problem. I may have just blocked it out though. Like, it may be one of those things where I'm just like, oh yeah, no, we done forgot it did. Let's see here. This, plug this into you, so we can start getting some juice, because it's dead. Was it? I just don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch my streams and be like, oh, yeah. I think it's dumb they fixed the potion to go back down to 25% XP. Because, like, the first pot we popped... Because, like, I looked at it in the store, and it was like, oh, it's 25%, and I can boost how long it lasts, but not how often it does it, so... Yeah, it is. And so like I did the math and I was like, okay, if I buy 5 potions, that gives me 5 hours of 25%. You know what I mean? And first when I popped, it was like, why am I getting 150% more XP, you know? And then yesterday we popped a potion and it was only giving us 25, and I was like, crap. Hopefully they didn't see my stream where I was like, look, it's 150. I'm sure other people noticed it and said stuff too. No, no, no. Dun, dun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, that's kind of like one of the main reasons why I get hesitant to put things on stream, because I don't know who's watching. I don't know if they've got a team of people that watch anybody and everybody that streams any of the content for any of their servers. I know if I post it in the content creator Discord, they watch some of it. They won't watch all of it, but they'll watch enough of it to see what's up. But like, I don't know. I mean, I know at one point Blizzard did. Blizzard had like a team that was dedicated to watching content creators and making sure that they weren't bad mouthing Blizzard, because there were a couple that got threatened with bans from Blizzard for stuff that they said on a stream. So goodness gracious. It's gonna be one of those times where the button doesn't gray out. Alright, well, while the server's being dumb, I'm gonna go run and grab me some ice for my cup so I can fill it back up with a different drink, and hopefully the server's up by the time I get back to do that, or from doing that, and then that way we can get back onto this, because I really would like to hit 25 on this ranger today, because if we hit it today, then we'll start our Primalist today. If not, we'll be starting the Primalist tomorrow, whether we hit 25 today or not. It'll just be one of those things I'll finish off camera. So I'm trying to get as many classes done as possible. So yeah, no, 100%. I don't know why. Like, I kind of know why they did it, since 25 is cap right now. But at the same time, I don't understand why they decided to make the XP rate so much lower here. And the only thing I can think of is they did it so that people would pick one class, stick with that one class, and give them feedback on that one class. But what you want is people that want to play other classes and figure out what they like, so that when the game goes live, they're more dedicated to that one class, versus having people go, it's such a slog, I only want to play this one character whether I like it or not. It's a really fast way to get people to leave the server and leave the game in general. But give me 1 second. I will be right back, guys. I'm going to go grab some ice from my cup, and then we'll get right back into it as long as the server's back up. So bear with me 1 second. Okay. Let's see if server's back up now. Uh-oh. Still down. Let's see if we exit all the way out. Make sure there's no... Oh, no update for it. Okay. Just wanted to double check. Because sometimes, like I said earlier, sometimes they do that where they'll shut the server down and then it'll say that you can get back into the server, but then the second you try to get in, it's like, nope, you can't do it. And then you log out and log back in, and it's there was like an update or something. So, but we're back. And the COD group was like, yo, homie, anyone up to playing? But I know 2 of the members are off watching a movie right now, and we're streaming, so... Come on, server, come back up. Jeez. Ah, bubblers are so good. Let me in. Such a pain in the rump. Well, I guess while we wait, we can go look at add-ons here, see if there's any that... Like, I need to get rid of some of the ones like Bagnon, I don't really need. TomTom, I can't remember if we could actually get TomTom to work properly, but whatever. I thought about going and trying... Where's it at? I used to use it all the time. Bartender? Is that the name of it? Yeah, Bartender. I used to use this one all the time. And then I found LVUI, and I was like, LVUI is so much better. But like Bartender actually had some really good customizations, so we might go try that again. Allow you to draw lines on maps, linking nodes together into an efficient farming route from existing databases such as GatherMate 2. Oh, okay. Shows time left until diminishing your turn on enemy friendly yourself, as well as how the spell is diminished. Arena Spectator, Action Bar Saver. This is only for Bronzebeard. Yeah, I don't see any other add-ons that would be useful to us. I mean, we could do this one. I'd have to go in and clear the game cache, though. Alright, let's go over and check Discord and see if there's been anything on that. Okay. It's what it's looking like right now. I've even logged out and logged back in just to make sure, but... Unfortunately, their stupid select realm button is still up. And I don't see anything right now in Discord. Yeah, I don't see anything in Discord about it. Whoa. Somebody, okay. This is why I was like, whoa. So like I'm looking through here, and then this person just put chat cleanse, and then it's just a huge amount of space, then chat cleanse again, and then everybody just immediately talking again. But I was just like, wow, that's a huge blank. But yeah, there's nothing going on. Weak auras. I don't use weak auras, but it's good to know that they have some of that up. PvP. So I assume you like vanilla content, considering you played Bronzebeard. What's your favorite raid in vanilla? I mean, the only raid I ever did in vanilla was, shoot, what's that one out in Deadwind Pass? Is that Karazhan? Yeah, Karazhan out there in Deadwind. That's like the only raid I ever really did in like vanilla content. Never did On Q or whatever it was called. Out in Syphilis. Never did that one, the 40 man. Oh, is that Burning Crusade, really? Huh. That's like the very first raid I ever did. I didn't realize that was Burning Crusade. Karazhan is TBC. In that case, I may not have done. Let's see. Oh, I've done Onyxia's Lair. Okay. I never did Molten Core. I know I've done Onyxia's Lair. I think that's the only one I've ever done. Can we please get back into the game? Dev team, please. So yeah, I guess Onyxia. Nax is vanilla? I thought Nax was in Outlands, isn't it? Or not Outlands, Northrend. Or am I thinking of a different raid in Northrend? I think I've done Blackwing, but I'm not 100% sure on that. If Nax is vanilla, I know I've done Nax. In Ascension, I haven't done any raids. Like, just to point that out. Like, I haven't done any raids in Nax at all. Because I haven't been able to get with a group that's trying to do them. But, like, as far as retail / classic goes for content, I mean, I know I've done... I know, like, the raids that I know for a fact I have done is I've done Naxxramas, Frozen Throne, Twilight, what was that? Twilight Citadel? I think is what that one's called. I've done Onyxia's Lair. I've done Dragon Soul. I did the other 2 raids that are underneath that pillar there in Borean Tundra? I don't remember where that is. I'd have to look at the map to be able to tell you specifically, but you see, I've done Nax. I haven't done the other ones. I may have done Blackwing. I'm not sure, but... Good lord! Open the stupid game! Somebody clicked the wrong button on there? Good lord. Still down. Okay. On Bronzebeard, I leveled, I maxed out a mage. I maxed out a hunter. I did build guides for the hunter that I did. I can't remember if I did a build guide for the mage. I started working on a tank shaman. But it was mainly just I did dungeons and PvE content and dailies and worked on professions and stuff like that. I was trying to build up a guild on Bronzebeard so that we could go and have like a core group of people doing raids and doing mythics and things like that. It just never panned out, unfortunately. I don't know, y'all. I think I give this a few more minutes. If it doesn't come back up, I guess we'll have to take a break for a bit until it does come back up. This is a little frustrating. But I can't imagine that it's going to be entertaining to sit here and watch me try and log in to the realm if the realm's not going to be up. I just don't like pugging raids The problem with either A, being the pug in a raid, or the whole raid is nothing but a bunch of randos, is you'll get somebody. Every time I've done it, I've had people that get in there and they have their friend and they're the raid leader. And so when a piece of gear drops or something that somebody could use, it goes to the wrong person, or somebody doesn't pay too much, does something wrong, and then everybody's driving. I like to have my core group. When I was doing raids on retail, it was with the same guild members every, like, once a week, twice a week, whatever we had available. At least now the button went away. And so, like, I'm just so used to having that core group that we can sit and talk over Discord and figure out what we need to do and how we need to do it, and make sure that everybody's on board with the loot rules and how we do things and the order we do things. And it makes it simpler to do it that way than try and pug. If it was like a raid finder, like what retail has, absolutely, hands down, I would 100% do a raid finder, because then it's everybody in the group is doing raid finder, and bosses aren't as difficult as a standard normal raid or even a heroic raid. You can still get decent gear out of it and stuff like that, but to pug a whole raid, I don't see me doing that until I get a class that I'm like, this is my main. So once I figure out what that is, absolutely, I might go into doing some raids once I can get it geared up, get its professions up, so that I know that it has best in slot gear. Yeah, I've done that a couple times on different games, to be honest with you. Join other guilds and whatnot. Problem is when they see that I'm on and I tell them, I'm very upfront about the fact that I stream, or I'm making content of some sort. Pretty much anytime I'm on, I'm doing something towards those two aspects. And a lot of guild masters and raid leaders, they don't really like that, because they don't want me to stream what they're doing in raid, or they don't want me to potentially stream any kind of drama that's going on with the guild or any of that jazz. A prime example of that, if you want a guild that has gone through that process very openly on Twitch and on YouTube, is what is it? OnlyFangs, I believe was the name of the guild. It's the one that Pirate Software was a part of before he got himself kicked out. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to avoid. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be the thing that causes contention. Another prime example that I can point to is the guy who plays Leroy Jenkins as Leroy Jenkins in the old school stuff. The problem with that was he got to be the face of the guild, and he took that way too, like, literal. He wasn't a guild master. He wasn't the raid leaders or any of that jazz in that guild. He just happened to be part of that video they thought was going to be funny when they posted it, and Blizzard reached out to him specifically, and he became the face of the guild. And according to some of the guild members that I've talked to from that guild, he went from being a pretty cool dude to being kind of a dick. Uh-oh. Y'all saw that, right? Grizzly went down for a second and came right back up. Who did what? Who hurt the server? I'm really hoping when COA goes live, they finish Wrath of the Lich King so that they can put that on all the servers. Like, all of them, including... though this would be the hardest one for them to do, I think. But I'd like to see it hit COA. But yeah, that's why I typically want to have my own guild and my own raiding group, so that everybody's on the same page. Hey, I stream. If we're raiding, it's going to be because I'm streaming. If, you know, like, the format will be a little bit different, because obviously I won't be able to sit here and talk directly to the audience as much as I do when I'm doing solo content or overworld content, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the problem is that would actually be a really good amount of content. So, but yes, like when I'm off camera, if somebody says, "Hey man, we need a pug, do you want to join?" I'd be happy to. But I just like to set that expectation that if I'm online, there's a high probability that I'm doing some form of content, whether that's streaming or whether that's doing build guides or guides for like what kind of add-ons I use and things like that, right? And there are guild masters out there that as soon as they hear that I'm a streamer, whether that's, you know, Twitch, YouTube, whatever, that's irrelevant, but when they hear that I'm a streamer, it immediately comes out as, oh no, we don't want that drama in our guild. Because I have asked several times. The way I would probably do it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, Typer, is if I was to join a group, a guild, whatever, and do raids whenever my hectic schedule allows it. Because you also have to remember, I have a full-time job, and my days off swap so much that I don't know if I'd ever be able to be consistent with raiding. Okay? Because, like, right now, this month, I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays. Next month, I'm going to be off on Sundays and Mondays. So if I find a guild and they raid currently on Friday nights, I can definitely do it this month. Next month, I won't be able to. Or potentially I won't be able to next month. It just depends on what my schedule is for the day, right? But outside of that, if I'm going to do raiding content, if I've already streamed for the day, I have no problem doing a raid without streaming. If I haven't streamed for the day or worked on a video, I'm probably going to record it. And then instead of making commentary about other characters, I'm going to talk about the boss fight and what the mechanics are and how we overcame it and stuff like that. Those kinds of things, right? So, ooh, realms up! Realms up! Ha ha ha! They sent it to a... Interesting. Okay. I may have more scrolls than I thought. I like this. Whew. What flavor is this? Tropical Dream. These are good. Kind of a pineapple-y flavor. Come on, game. Load. Hello? Game? The music stopped. That might be no bueno. Hmm. Come on, Fizz. Come on, Fizz. Nothing's happening. I think we're about to crash again. At least their animations have kicked in, just not the walking around animation. Since I'm in combat with that guy right there. Oh, the lag. No, everybody stopped again. Oh, let's see. Yeah, raiding schedules are weird. Like, if I had raid as of my last schedule, each week would have a different schedule, so no free day I could plan. Careful, if you die with high risk, you lose gear and it's dropped via chest. Yeah, I know. But the problem is we're lagging, like, massively. Homie would already be dead. Oh, now I can't move. I think me and South Brigade Boy are kind of stuck. Something that's happening because there's just a lot of server latency right now. Because, like, see, all of my buffs are going into the negatives. They did something, and it's messed with the server. Because it's definitely not my internet. My internet is running 100% peak right now. Let's see. We're sitting here at both of my buffs right now are, yep, and there went the server. Yeah. Okay. Well, I tell you what, Tiber, I'm probably going to just take a little bit of a break, let them try and figure out whatever's going on. I'm not sure if we'll come back to the Ranger for now or if we're going to start our Primalist tonight. I don't know. I got to double check with my friend and see if he's still wanting me to come out there or if they've got plans tonight. I don't know. If he doesn't, then I'll just be streaming all of tonight. Either way, if we come back and play with the Ranger and try and finish him up today, we'll be back. If not, then we'll be back with the Primalist, since you asked to see the Primalist caster. The Geomancer, we'll go try that. But one way or the other, we'll definitely be on the Geomancer tomorrow. It just depends on what we're doing tonight. Hopefully, the server will fix itself and we can actually get some playing done. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. Have fun. If you are not subscribed to the channel or following me on Twitch, please do one or the other. It does two things. One, it lets me know I'm doing a fantastic job, but it also lets you guys know when I go live. So please make sure you subscribe or follow me on either platform. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, have fun, and stay legendary, heroes. Peace out.